Welcome, parents!
My name is Blanca Santamaria, and I'll be your parent facilitator.
And my name is Nancy, and I'm also going to be your parent facilitator. I would like to thank all of you parents for answering the phone calls. It's really it's a pleasure to getting to know you and to be able to help you with any concerns or questions that you guys have. So thank you very much for that.
We're going to be going into session 2 today, which is what kids can do and how can we handle the stress. As you can see, the pamphlet that we handed out to you or delivered to you, it tells you briefly points of where your child is as far as the developmental stage. That gives us as parents somewhat an idea of what our children can do, okay, or are able to do. For example, one of the situations that we have constantly with parents is that if you tell or give a task to a child, a 5-year-old child, to wash the dishes, is that really realistic? Can that 5-year-old do the dishes? Although we have some children that are very high developmentally and able to do that, but it is dangerous. If your child is not able to provide a task, it only causes frustration in the child, and their self-esteem will plummet. Okay, because that makes them think that they can't do it. They're worthless. They can't do anything right. Okay. Also, as a parent, we get frustrated when we ask our child to go upstairs, our 5-year-old, and pick up the dirty laundry and bring it downstairs. That kid, more likely, a 5-year-old, is not going to be able to complete this task, and therefore will drop the clothes on the way downstairs, making us as a parent frustrated, angry, stressed, and we could even hurt our children in this.
So parents, it's very important for you guys to remember that no child is the same. You can have 2 children and you've raised them the same way or taught them the same things, but they're differently. Even if you have twins or they're close ages or something, but they're never the same. Every child is different. Every child develops differently. Every child has their own mindset. So it's very important for you guys to understand it, and don't get frustrated if one of your children doesn't learn faster than the other one or is not at his level yet. Remember, they can develop differently. Everybody is different. Okay, parents, you can change your handout session 222, and it's called What My Child Can Do. In this handout, we would like you to take a moment and think about the chores and responsibilities of your child, and write them on the list, and just check mark if you think they're difficult and if they're age appropriate. So think about that chore that you normally give your child, and after you read that handout of the abilities or capabilities that your child has for that age, think if it's difficult or age appropriate, and we will discuss later.
Okay, parents, so now we're going to talk about stress. Stress is a physical, mental, and emotional reaction to thoughts or events. One of the examples, imagine 2 drivers coming out of their house. Both have well night's sleep, both are relaxed, and they get stuck in a traffic jam. Okay, they're on their way to work and they're stuck in a traffic jam. One driver starts stressing, starts honking, starts yelling at the other drivers, starts yelling out loud profanity and so on. Hurry up, move out of the way. Okay, while the other driver is calm, is peaced. He's listening to music and realizes that he has no control over the situation that's happening. You're stuck in traffic. More likely there was an accident. No control. You cannot go around. He accepts the fact. All of us have our own ways to dealing with stress. Maybe what affects me, the angry driver, might not affect the calm driver. Okay, we all have a different way. The same way we spoke about our children earlier with Nancy, they're different. People react to the different situations and handle situations in a different way. I don't know where to put my hand down.
Okay, well, like Blanca said, everybody handles stress differently. So if what something might cause stress to somebody, it doesn't mean that it might cause the same effect to another person. And for that, we have a little test on your handout, session 223, and it's called the stress test. So this test is split into 6 parts, which is the physical, the emotional, the attitudinal, the social, thinking, and productivity. In each section, you're gonna have different emotions that can relate to that section. And if you feel, if in this particular moment that you're doing the test, you feel that, you can just mark it with a little dot, a check mark, an X, or whatever you want. Some parents might get really worried if they check out too many things on this chart, and they might think that just because they checked a lot of these sections, they are really stressed, and maybe the other parent doesn't have that many check marks on his chart. They might think that that person is not stressed, but remember that the way we handle things is how we are stressed. So just because that person has less check marks doesn't mean that that person is not stressed, because he might not be able to handle a couple of things just like you can't handle more things.
What matters is how you handle the stress. Okay, so parents, now that you took your test, now you understand and you see how stress manifests itself. You identify, or you learn to identify what you're feeling, how you're feeling it, and it's due to our stress, our daily life stress. So now I'm gonna ask Nancy, how does she deal with stress? Remember, everybody deals with it different. Nancy, how do you deal with your daily stress?
Well, normally when I'm really stressed out, I just take my time off and just walk away and try to calm down. Or I will play some music just to kind of relax and get my mind away of, what's stressing me out.
Oh, that's a great idea, because having a mommy place and going away and out of the noise and stuff, that's great. How I deal with stress is, one of the things, maybe it's common to you, I've heard it's common a lot, cleaning. When I'm very stressed, I tell my children to go to the rooms and I clean. And while I'm cleaning, I analyze, I think, and I try to problem solve things in my head. And that makes me calm down and, again, find a solution to whatever it is that's stressing me. Very good.
Okay, so now that we talk about how we deal with our stress, we're going to talk about good ways and bad ways to deal with stress. And some examples of good examples of dealing with stress are like taking some time out.
Very good. A bad example to deal with stress is drinking alcoholic beverages. A lot of families or a lot of parents deal with that way and go and is that a bad way? Remember that our children are watching. We are the greatest role model, the first role model that our children have. So that's one thing.
Another good example of helping you deal with stress is maybe taking a walk and exercising, maybe taking your dog to a walk to the park or outside your street, something like that.
A bad way that you can relieve stress is by hitting or physically fighting with someone. I understand that we might have equipment in our house that we might utilize, but remember, at a time of stress, we do things that might scare our children.
Yes, and another way is maybe taking a shower, a long shower, and relaxing under the water. That'll also help you, or maybe counting up to 10 or 50 or 100.
A bad way to deal with stress is yelling. Okay, how many of you parents are stressed and yell at each other, at our children, and words might come out that are very, very hurtful, and takes up to 20 praises to erase one bad thing for our children.
A good way to deal with the stress is singing. Maybe if you start singing or listening to music, that'll help you relax and release your stress.
Very good, Nancy. So as you can see, there are good ways to deal with stress and there's bad ways to deal with stress. And the reason we bring this up, or we talk to you about this, because our children learn from us. They are watching us. How we deal with situations, with stress, with anger, they will do the same. This creates a chaotic environment Not to mention that when we want to change a behavior, this kind of relationship comes out of flow, okay? And remember, parents, our health is very important.
So it is very important for this reason. It's very important for you guys to cool down while you're really frustrated. That way, when you react to your child, you're already set and you think about the consequences that you're going to give to your child. Because if we are heated up in anger or stressed, we might give a consequence that we might regret or might not be the adequate or overreact to what they have done.
Guys, we're recording, okay? And I'm an artist here, okay? I demand professionalism.
Okay, so now that we went over some ways to handle our stress, we can also remember that we can always do some breathing techniques, and you can find this on Parent Handout session 2425. Remember, it's very important to take some time and do breathing exercises. And we have this little word-by-word countdown relaxation that you guys can read and take advantage of it.
Just go to a quiet place, take a deep breath, close your eyes. You got this. Okay, parents, now that you understood and seen how we deal or how to deal with stress, if you go to your handout 226, you will find a handout with tips and what parents can do to prevent quarrels. Look through it, try to identify and take ideas of how you could prevent situations within the family, and again, anything that we do to take care of ourselves help us with stressful situations and how to handle situations way better. Remember that children are always watching. Keep that always in mind. They will do whatever we do.
And also for homework, we have a handout session 230, which is called Parents Record for Child's Game. On this chart, you're gonna write down the date, the time, and the activity that your child was doing. Remember, write your child's response and your response to your child. What we really want you to do is notice what they're doing during the day. If you see that they're doing something you like, remember, reward it right away, write it down. Whatever your child was doing and how your child reacted to your praising or to your to you noticing that activity.
This form will help you identify what we're doing as parents and how we can make things different. Parents, thank you again for our second day here, our second session with you. Now that you've learned to identify all these stressors in life, remember that our Straining Families program is designed to master one technique or one tool at a time. This way, how we identify our stressors right now will help us in future sessions when we start dealing with more difficult situations within our home. Thank you for watching, parents, again, and remember to participate and to share your experiences at home. This makes you eligible for prize for parents. Also, we have, remember, the raffle. As a family, we do have our raffle for a weekly there. Okay, so thank you for watching. Anything else you want to add, Nancy?
Yes, and remember that I will be giving you phone calls, follow-up phone calls. So if you have any questions, concerns, if you need some help with the homework, something you didn't understand about the video, just let us know. I'll be giving you a call. Hope to hear you guys. Remember, if you guys are unable to answer the phone, text messages, a good way for you guys to ask us or communicate. That's perfect with me too.
Thank you. See you next week. Bye.